Hey guys, how's it going? Simon here. Yeah, just wanted to make a quick tutorial because I've been sort of showing some tracks I'm finally sort of happy with recently, and people have asked about my arrangement and things like that, and so I thought I'd just yeah, make a video about some cool things I kind of discovered recently, which I feel quite useful and basically enable you to sort of skip through a lot of hassle and time-consuming things, in order to consume time doing other things, which, yeah, might be better in the long run or whatever. So, yeah, here we go. So, basically, oh yeah, also, going to be using sounds from a pack from Root Production. All of the sounds will be from Psytrance Forest Volume 2. Highly recommend all of his stuff, really, really good. And also, I have a little device down here, Note on Random, which comes from the same dude, Shep over at Mute Production. Again, really cool. And another device I'm going to be using is Autoplay here, which is from another guy, Altar of Wisdom. Again, some really sick stuff that he's done. Lots of devices and things, other things. I think he moved away from Ableton devices and also created some sort of plugins, VST plugins that you can use, across multiple doors or whatever. But yeah, so let's go. So I've already picked 4 sounds here. I've got one here, obviously, and these 3 here. This is another sound from the pack, which I'm going to introduce later, just some Atmos there, just to kind of boost what we're doing here. Kick and bass that I've already made. It's in D sharp, and there's obviously some percussions over here. So I'll just play you one sound, and then I'm going to show you how I get it to start pumping out all of these grid arrangements, as well as a kind of method I've been using to kind of boost the preset that you're using. So, you turn on a preset normally, or you find one you like, and then, you're playing around with sounds and you think, oh, this sounds cool, that sounds cool. You're turning all the knobs and everything, but if you're a beginner or if you're new or fresh to it, it might be a bit overwhelming to try and get anything rhythmical or good out of that without spending tons and tons of time farting around, and then by the end of it you're exhausted and can't be bothered anymore and blah blah blah. So to do that, what I usually do, I'll obviously I'll have already found the sound. Let's get Serum open. I'll configure it. So I've literally just got all your macros added in there, so I'd add all 4 of them, and then I'll just literally, by the way, everything I'm doing here, I'm a beginner, so it might be crazy on the CPU. I don't know. It's doing fine for me, but yeah, I'm not here to save CPU or do anything like that. But yeah, this pumps out tons of cool results, so I think it's totally worth it. But anyway, so I'm going to map this to the first macro. Do the same with the others. Just get all this set up. I should have done this earlier, but you can see at least. Okay, so I'll just press play. Just got one sound loaded in with autoplay going. I've set up obviously my sort of rhythms and stuff I'm going to do here. I'm actually going to turn that down a bit because, yeah. Anyway, so this is what we're going to start off with. Yeah, you get the idea. So just kind of bog standard single sort of root note, rolling kick and bass or whatever, and then here just some extra notes added in just to kind of give it a bit more variety, and so you can hear the different vibes or whatever you want to call it, that it can be, that will go above. So anyway, so we have that single sound going there, and as I say, with all the macros going, that means you've obviously got everything turning all at once. I know you can obviously hook up your MIDI controllers and do it by hand, and a lot of people like to do things live, etc., and that's fine, that's cool. But for me personally, I kind of wish I had 8 arms, and because doing it inhumane things gives you some crazy results sometimes, and it's psytrance, isn't it? So what we're making is crazy anyway. So yeah, so with that, get rid of this. So what I do, like I said, I've already pre-selected the sounds. So what I would do now, this technique might be used by loads of people, I don't know, but I think it works great. So I'll group it into a drum rack. And then first off, I'll do that in a second actually. I'll then basically add these ones in here. Okay, cool. Right, so we've got our all 4 sounds loaded in. So, as you can hear, they're all off key. So to combat that, we just go into this view. You click on the arrow. You can see here you've got your 4 plugins loaded in, and we'll just literally set that to whatever you want your root note to be, which in my case is going to be D#1. Okay, cool. So I press play. Obviously that's correct. So what I'll do now, obviously you want to come over here, set this to chromatic. I'm just going to disable these. So what this does is, how many we've got? We've got 4 at the minute. So this is going to enable these 4 pads here on the drum rack. With the transpose probability is how you basically get it to activate and start using them. So with this, you've got your octaves. So this 1 octave obviously is going to control these 12 here. So that would be here, starting from 1 all the way up to 12. Eventually, if you wanted to, you could go crazy with this. You've obviously got all these other octaves here, and every time you enable one, it adds an extra 12 in this grid here that you can see. So it obviously, yeah, you can imagine, goes quite crazy. But obviously I'm not going to do that just because it's insane right now, and it's just, yeah, time consuming. So what we'll do, we've got our 4. As I'm going to press play, obviously. So you can kind of tailor it. This is obviously going to go through all the notes. But if you wanted to say have like a sort of leading, you know, sound on the go, the probability, you adjust this, and it will obviously play this first note here most of the time, and then 16% chance obviously it's going to jump between them. But obviously, if you wanted to, you could also apply some form of macro to this or draw in some automation. So as you're sort of going through your bars, you've got your leading riff going, you know, you get to the end and then you want to add a fill, you know, and then go back to it, whatever. I just realised obviously I haven't applied the LFO to the other macros in the other sounds as well. So I'm just going to do that now. I'm just going to let that play through as I'm doing it. But basically I'm going to apply all of this to all of them. And obviously everything's moving, everything's modulating, you're just getting tons and tons of stuff happening. So, and yeah, you just get endless sounds. So you can just instantly hear as I'm adding them that everything, you know, the variety, everything just times is like 100 is great. And obviously another cool thing you could do, say you just wanted to sort of jump between a couple of sounds at once, you obviously use that root note. Let's just change that a sec. Whatever, obviously I would organise it a bit better then, but just for the sake of the video. So we'll set the probability up to 100, and we'll set down to 0. So as we play, it should switch between. So just realised, idiot. Yeah, pretty quick, pretty simple. You know, the more times you do it, the more easy it gets, the more ideas you get. You can obviously set up a ton of macros on here, group all this together, and then apply stuff to over here. So, you know, this is constantly moving. You could have this constantly moving, you know, so obviously you got nothing playing, essentially, just a few atmospheric accidental sort of hits every now and then, you know. Yeah, and then obviously same with this, apply, you know, any sort of movement to this if you wanted to. Getting a bit more of your 16ths, speed it up a bit more, sort of the feel, whatever. Another thing I also like to do from time to time, which might be useful, interesting. Again, this is a little device that Mute over at, Mute Production, Shep over at Mute Production has made, and basically, as it says in the title, it's a note on random device, and you essentially, with this, I like to just hook it up to the panning, just for a bit of experimentation, just to see, give us a bit of room between the sounds, you know, obviously you're not necessarily going to keep it all, so just jumping through, you know. Yeah, so another cool thing, and you know, more craziness, randomness, whatever. Obviously the beauty of it is with this is obviously each individual channel you can chuck whatever effects, whatever you want onto there to, you know, make it stand out more, separate each things as you're mixing, etc., whatever you're doing. But yeah, just a little bit of beat repeat can do a bit of wonders. Here we go. Simple as that, you know. Let's go a bit mad and kind of speed up the fill a bit more. Let's turn this down, leave that up a bit, get rid of that, turn that up 100%. Go one more time, just get it all going at once, just because it's just mad, obviously. And yeah, so we'll go from here and just let it play through, and then I also that's a bit of Atmos again from one of Shep's packs, Mute Production, the Psytrance Volume 2, Forest. And I've done the same thing I did before, because it's atmospheric. There's a ton of shit here that can just be, you know, just blow your mind sort of thing with what you can do with it. And again, for someone, especially me back in the day, beginner, well, still beginner, what I'm on about back in the day, you know, load it up and I'm thinking, oh, this sounds cool, that sounds cool. You know, with this, you can just obviously get it to do loads and loads of things all at once, just record it all, and then just pick what you like out of it, and then mess it up even more down the line. Obviously you can adjust all speeds, have this whatever you to your liking. You might want to disable it from a couple. For example, actually, well, I'll use it for now, but you got your gate here. You might want to just keep a solid sound, or you want it gated consistently, whatever you want to do. So anyway, let's play it one more time, and then I'll leave you with that. Yeah, minimal effort, it just sounds mad. Let's do one more thing actually. There you go. So, I don't know. Hope that was useful to some people. Again, loads of people might already use these kind of techniques. I don't know. There is also, if you look at Altar of Wisdom, you have, I think it's the Grid Father or something like that. A MIDI one, there's an audio one, all sorts. They're all awesome as well. I just find that using this one, I just love the results using that drum rack, and I don't know what's going on, you know, with everything internally inside the computer as it's processing it all, but just, yeah, the rhythms that come out here just seem a bit more, I don't know, I enjoy it a bit more. Yeah, I should also mention as well, once you've done all that, you're obviously going to want to record what you've done. You know, you can set it up as audio channels, do whatever you want, but before you want to do all of that, just grab a MIDI device, hook it up to the drum rack. It's just so so yeah, we'll take off, turn that off. There you go. So after that, anyone that doesn't know, just go through this as well very quickly. So you want to just extract chains. Yeah, go through, just ungroup them all quickly or leave them in, it's up to you. I like to ungroup them just because I'm OCD and it gives me a bit more sort of, everything's a bit tidier and neater. Oh yeah, last one on the bottom. The root note will have changed, so just kind of stick that there, grab that there, put them there. So you want to ungroup that as well. Oh yeah, of course, and the volumes, just match that to that for a sec. But yeah, so there's that, and then obviously, yeah, do whatever you want afterwards. Effects on individual channels. Obviously, if you want to bounce from then on, whatever you want to do, it's all, yeah, it's all there. Simple. You know, move all the MIDI around, get rid of some. Obviously, there's a lot going on at the moment, so naturally, for me personally, I wouldn't use that much. I'd start taking stuff out and then find some cool rhythms in there, you know, that are kind of have some sort of repeating patterns from it that I like, and just, you know, duplicate them as I'm going along, etc. But yeah, hope that video was useful and helpful. First time I've done this, as you can probably tell. Yeah, cheers guys, awesome.